lesson, yeah? All right. Okay, once you have this worksheet, can you let me know? Dylan can find?
I am fine there.
Have it? You shall have it? You printed? You shall printed?
Wait, I must print it out.
No. You have it, but Joshua has to print it out.
Wait, I need an online version of it.
You sorry?
I only have the online version of this.
You never print ah? Okay lah, then you just use mine,
Sorry.
okay? Just use mine. Dylan, can find or not? Very long.
I already found it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now let's start, okay? So, whenever you see forming equations, right, for integration, there is different types of it. So, I'll go through the different types. These are the simpler ones. The more complicated ones, I will go through again in class, okay? So, let's see this one. So, whenever they say that show that, okay, every time the show kind of question, you have to put together everything here and then show that it's equals to the right-hand side. So, every show question, right, regardless of trigo or integration or any other question, you cannot copy left-hand side and right-hand side together. You have to copy either the left-hand side, prove to the right-hand side, or the right-hand side, you prove to the left-hand side. Obviously, I can't copy 20 over 9 and try to make it happen to create this thing. So we start from the left-hand side. Okay, so if I want to start from the left-hand side, I need to find out f double prime and f. Okay, the only thing given to me is f prime x here. All right, so we have to use this one by one, find for this and this. So every time if you have to differentiate and integrate, you always choose differentiate first. Anyone knows why? Okay, now if there is unknown in the dy dx, right, we choose differentiate first because by differentiating, we can find that unknown. Okay, one equation, one unknown you can find. But if you went to integrate first, then every time when you integrate, there will be a plus c. In this case, if there's unknown here, you will have two unknowns. Then it's very hard to find already. So every time when given a choice to differentiate and integrate, you always choose differentiate first. So can you help me write down number one? Differentiate first. Okay, so before I do left hand side, I find f double prime x first. When you want to differentiate or integrate, better if you change the bracket to power form. In this case, it's easier to differentiate. Okay, so this is a method 2. Power bring down, copy the bracket. Bracket power bring down by 1 times differentiate of the bracket. Then you can simplify it. Okay, one more, we need to integrate. Okay, the difference between differentiate and integrate is this one, instead of power bring down, power bring up over the new power times differentiate of the bracket. Okay, then you have a plus c. So to find for this c, you must always find for the c first, okay, before you start to use it. So can you see that they give me one more information here. When x is 0.5, fx is 1. So you're going to start the same thing. Sorry. Okay, so 1 equals to okay, put in the calculator. Okay, then you will have 1 equals to minus 2 over 5 plus c. C equals to 7 over 5. Okay, then put them together. While you put together, you can simplify. So this one is a 10 at the bottom. This bracket should be at the bottom. Minus 1 over 10 bracket. Okay, so now we have f double prime, we have fx. Now we just have to sub. Okay, so 3, f double prime 1. So that means you have to sub 1 into this equation. Okay, can you see I sub already? X is equals to 1. This one, x also 1. Okay. You learn a sub already. Okay, then all you have to do is to put them into the calculator and see what you get. So
Yeah, but why is it here just 0.5?
where?
Here.
This one?
No, here.
When f is 0. When x is 0.5, f is 1. So I sub it here to find.
No, but oh, okay.
Ah, I copy wrongly. This is 5 over 2. I put 5 over 3. Sorry, let me change here. No wonder it's a bit weird. Okay. Then you get it 9 over 20. No, sorry, 20 over 9. Eh. All right. Dylan, I mounted my fire extinguisher. You can't plug it out. Okay, Joshua, done? All right. Dylan, done? All right. Using the same method, can you help me try question 2? Dylan, try question 2.
Oh.
Okay, so this question say that the curve intersect the x-axis at P. That means the y-coordinate is 0 and the x-coordinate is pi over 4. So you know that P is pi over 4, comma 0. Okay, then now they tell you that the gradient at P is 8. That means dy over dx when x is pi over 4 is 8. Okay, you got 2 clues now. I condense it for you. So using this and the equation given, which is f double prime x, slowly you need to integrate 2 times in order for you to get your fx. So when you integrate to get f prime x, every time when you integrate, there will be a constant c. You have to find the constant c before you can integrate one more time. Two more minutes. Can do or not? Dylan, are you stuck?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joshua can do? You start. How about Joshua? So f prime x, okay, you just have to integrate your f double prime x first. Then integrate sign is what, Dylan?
Integrate sign is minus cosine.
Minus cosine, then divide by 4, right?
4.
Yes, very good. Integrate of cosine is just sine. So divide by 2. Don't forget to put your plus.
Wait, but why do you need to find fx with 1 apostrophe?
Because, right, they give you f double prime. Then you know that using the equation, they say that show that this plus this equals to this. You know that you need your fx, right? But from here to here, you can't get it straight away. You need to integrate this to get f prime x, integrate this again to get fx, correct? There is no one step to get from here to here. Can understand, Dylan?
Yeah.
Okay, so simplify first, huh? Okay, then we submit. Can you see this thing here? Gradient is 8 at P. That means when x is pi over 4, your gradient is 8. So we're going to sub that in. Okay, just sub pi over 4 in. Okay, change your calculator to radian mode. You can put cosine pi in the calculator. Cosine pi is -1. Then you can put sine pi over 2. You get 1. Okay, and this whole thing is equals to 8. So this is equals to 8. So C is equals to 0. Can you see? C is 0. So we try one more time. Okay. Now that I know that f prime x is just -12 cosine 4x minus 4 sine 2x. C0 is okay. So now we can find for fx. Okay, integrate one more time. So integrate Okay, integrate of cosine is just sine. Integrate of sine is minus cosine. So, all right, then still have to find for my point C. Before that, I simplify first. Okay, then I sub in my point. So this is an equation. You must sub in a point. So we sub in P. So when fx is 0, your x is pi over 4. Okay, everything here. This and this, I sub. Okay, then one by one, you key in. Always just key the trigo. Okay, only key the trigo in the calculator. Don't key with the number. So sine pi is 0. Cosine pi over 2 is also 0. So C is 0. Okay, again, C is 0. All right, I got no space already. When you're done here, you let me know. Okay, when you're done copying, help me put a thumbs up, okay? Oh, it's not done? All right. Dylan, how about you? Are you done?
No.
No, ah. All right, just how you done, you put them together first, okay? So copy this and see whether you can get 24 cosine 2x. So your f double prime x is there. Your fx is here. No more c already. Sorry, no more c. Okay, Dylan, I got space already. I write down first. Therefore, f double prime x is 48 sine 4x minus 8 cosine 2x plus 16 .
Now, why
Okay.
does f prime x have two values?
Where?
The two.
There? Here what? One value only.
No, f prime x has 48 sine, and the next one is minus 12 cosine 4x.
This is f prime x, right? This is fx.
Oh, oh yeah, never mind.
Copy wrongly. 32 minus 8 is 24 cosine 2x shown. All right. Dylan done, huh? I move on.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we change a bit, okay? I want to, okay, I know that a quadratic curve passes through these two, and the gradient at x equals to minus 2 is minus 8. I want you to find the equation of the curve. So what do you know about a quadratic curve? A quadratic curve is ax squared plus bx plus c, right? That's a quadratic curve. So what we're trying to do is now we sub in these 2 points, okay? And see if we can reduce the number of unknowns. So straight away, when you sub in 0 and minus 1, you get c equals to minus 1. So y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. That's right, minus 1. Okay, we sub one more time. Sub 2, 7. Okay, we're going to simplify this. I make b the subject. Oh, sorry, no, 6, 8. Okay, everything can divide by 2. B is 4 minus 2a. So your equation will look like that. Okay, we try to reduce the number of unknown. Y equals to ax squared plus your B is 4 minus 2a. 4 minus 2ax plus c. This is your quadratic equation. Can you see? From 3 unknowns, 1, 2, 3, I keep it to only one unknown, which is just a. Okay, why? Because 3 unknowns, usually I need 3 equations, which I have 2 already. Okay, so we try to reduce the number of unknowns, and using the gradient, I can find for a. So dy over dx is 2ax plus 4 minus 2a. You know that when x is minus 2, dy dx is 8. So x is minus 2. Is equals to minus 8. A one side. number one side, a equals to 2. Once you found a, you can sub it back to your equation answer. That's your answer. Guys, okay? Not too difficult. Dylan, you okay? Joshua? Mm-hmm. Dylan, okay? Joshua, do you have the paper with you, or you are relying on my screen for the question?
I'm using phone.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Now both of you, can you try? Now this one, question 4 is the last one before I move on to the harder question. So can you try this one? Okay. I'll just give you a small clue. Okay. So if I give you f prime x, this is your dy dx, right? And I asked you to find for equation. Do you need to differentiate or integrate? Hey, in class cannot ask you all to keep quiet. Now cannot ask you all to talk. Okay. Can from f prime x to fx, do I differentiate or integrate? Anyone? Dylan.
Yes.
What is yes? Integrate or differentiate?
Differentiate.
Differentiate now from
Integrate.
f from
Integrate.
okay, from dy dx to y, you integrate, right? So Joshua, how to integrate tangent square? Because if I want to get to fx, I
Must
need to
use
integrate.
must use some rule, right? That is found
What's
on the
the
sheet.
rule?
Just secant square minus something.
Oh, very good. Okay, 1 plus tangent square, you both know that 1 plus tangent square is secant square x, right? The only difference is that this is 3x. So if my x is 3x here, this one also changed to 3x. Okay, that's the difference. I write down here. So if this one becomes 3x, this one also becomes 3x. Nothing else change. This one still remain as 1. Okay, don't change everything. Only change the angle when you apply the formula. So I can call this secant square 3x. Is it easy to integrate now? Integrate of secant square is, I don't tell you, you try. Okay, now you send me by 11:40. Thank you. Remember, this is in radian mode, okay? I'm still here, I can hear you, okay? I'm just going to take something. Mm. Mm. Nice, Joshua got it. Hey, Dylan, can do or not?
I already got it.
Show me.
Wait, myself. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, take a picture. I mean, Joshua, good. I just set your presentation at the back. Okay, you must put fx equals to the whole thing. Yeah, then you get it. All right, both of you got it. Very good. Okay, now, before I do part 3, okay, can I let you do part 1 and part 2? This is what we did in the integration technique. We differentiate first, then we integrate. So for part 1, method 1, 2, 3, or 4. Method 4, okay? Copy the bottom, differentiate the top. Minus, copy the top, differentiate the bottom, over bottom squared. Can you try? All right, Joshua got it. Very good. Joshua, do part 2, okay? Very good. Dylan, can you do part 1? Hey, Joshua, when you differentiate, must put dy dx. Cannot be y, okay? You just help me put on the left-hand side. Put dy dx. Okay, prelim, they will be very strict with your presentation. So be sure that you present properly, okay? So before you integrate, you must remember to write, integrate this. Oh, why not that? Integrate this equals to this. Here first. Can do or not integrate? So you must write down integrate.
Rachel, in 1 minute, I still in part 2.
Okay, I just write down the clue first because I write very slow now. Okay, Dylan can do part 2.
Doing it now.
Okay, good. I give you more time. You slowly do, okay? I'll be very happy when Dylan can do integration. Finally listening. Joshua, you got it right. But you must sub in the point, okay, to find for the constancy. And then right on the left hand
I was
side.
in part 2, actually.
Oh, okay, that is correct. That is correct. Okay, very good.
It's
Hey, Dylan, done already?
It's correct.
Yeah, you're correct. Yes, I'm very sure.
No,
Why you so shocked? Okay, by your presentation, okay, you got confused because your C, you never divide by 3, right? So, Dylan, I go through first. this one, okay, we need to split because the part that they want is just this one. So you need to rearrange a little, okay? Minus bring over plus, plus bring over minus. So you will have then you can start integrating, okay? So, okay, don't put the plus C first, never mind. Then, put at the later first. Now you know that integrate this is that. Then, all you need to do is there's a 3 here, but there's no 3 at what you want, so everything times 1/3. Okay, then your C just put outside. C is just a constant C, doesn't matter. Okay, don't have to put a number in front of the C. So that's it. Okay, then Dylan done with this one. Okay, then all you can see at the bottom is f prime x is equals to this, which is what you have integrated here. So fx, you know that is integrate of ln 2x over x to the power 4, which you already know how to integrate. This is your, so you just have to copy this side. Okay. Then sub in your, okay, right wrongly, sorry, fx. Okay, then sub in your point when y is 8 over 9, x is 1. Oh, there's a minus here, sorry. Okay. Therefore, fx is equals to answer. Done already? Okay, both of you. Dylan done?
No.
Okay. You try you done do 6 first, huh?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. Question 6. Okay. Now, they say that this is my dy over dx. Okay. If the tangent to the curve is perpendicular to the line, straight away you find for gradient of the line first, everything divide by 3. Okay. If the tangent is perpendicular to this line, and you know that the line gradient is 1/3, what is gradient of tangent then? M1, M2 equal -1, right? So it's -1 divided by 1/3, which is -3. Okay. Can anyone tell me gradient of tangent is also known as what?
dy
Get ready. Gradient. Yes, very good. Gradient of tangent is dy dx. Okay, gradient of tangent is the same as gradient of the curve. So gradient of tangent is also known as dy over dx. But in this case, not at every point, only at this point. So when x is equals to -1. Okay, so that's why we're going to start. So dy over dx, we start in x equals to -1. Oh, my. Okay, 1 minus 1, and it's equals to -3. Can you see when x is -1, gradient is -3? That's what we're going to start here. Okay, and therefore k is equals to -2. Part 1 done. All right, then for part 2, now that you have dy over dx, okay, and you have k, now you want to find equation of the curve. I write it in power form first, then we can integrate, right? Y is when you integrate dy over dx. So when you integrate, remember what to do? Power increase by 1 over the new power times differentiate of the bracket. So don't forget, okay, when you integrate of x, sorry, it's not -1, it's minus x. Don't forget to put your plus c. Okay, every time when there's unknown in an equation, okay, you sub in your point. So you have a point here, we can sub the point in. No, not 10. I see only 0. Okay. Okay, you found C. So y is equals to okay. Both of you, when you're done with this, can you try question 7 and 8? Once you're done with 7 and 8, I give you a break. Okay. Okay, Dylan, okay, 6, 7, and 8 must try. How's both of you in the E-math class with Elita? Can understand or not? The Nanchao? All okay?
No, but that class is more like you have to do your own work.
But you do very fast, eh? I heard you finished the paper. I haven't cleared the paper, you know.
No.
You cleared the paper, right? Anyway, this Friday you'll be in my class, okay? So I'll be doing the SJI paper. You can try first. I will do paper 1. Okay, I'll do the harder questions with you guys for the first 1 hour. And then when you guys go for your end class, then I will do the easier question. So if you want to also listen how to do the easier question, you can stay back. Okay?
Any minimum holding points are subset. No, you must be desperate for one bigger only. No, no, and
Okay, once you get stuck at 7 or 8, please let me
Curve
know.
versus x-axis means y equals 0, right?
Yes, very good, very good.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to find for x, the point lies on the line here, right? You can sub y equals to 0 into the line. So you will get x is -2. Okay, so the point is if I give you gradient of normal, you must find gradient of tangent, right? Both of you can do 7. When you're
Yeah.
done with 7, you send me, then you send me 8, okay? Send me one by one. Okay, so if the gradient of the normal, this is the normal, so gradient of the normal is 2, then gradient of the tangent is minus half, right? Okay, Dylan, well done for 7. Now one more. Dylan, very good. Go for a break. Come back by 12:20. Okay. If you're hungry, you can go and get some food first. This is just me and you now. You, if anything, you just unmute and ask me, okay? Dylan went for break. Hey, Joshua, I answer correct, man? This is the answer, right? Y equals to integrate. K is minus 6. Ma.
Wait, I mean, your answer is just simplified form, right?
Minus, no leh, minus 18 x minus 4 square Okay, then dx. So when you integrate this, x minus 4 power increased by 1 over new power. Okay, integrate the input already, plus c. And then you can sub in, right? Minus 2 and 0. C equals to 3, what? Yeah. So just where you get 32 from? When you integrate, suddenly 18 become 36. Cannot, huh? Okay. Just power increased by 1 over new power. I think this part went wrong.
Wait, don't you bring a negative 2 down?
I got negative. No, power increased by 1 first, then divide by the new power. You divide by the new power. Got it, Joshua?
Yeah, okay.
Last one, last one. Joshua, number 8, okay? Okay, Joshua, done already? 8. Dylan, you back?
Yeah.
Joshua? I think he happily went for break. Okay. All right. Okay, Joshua, good. Must put y equals 2. Okay, now both of you can do that already. Now we go on to slightly harder
Teacher, am I
questions.
correct for
Okay?
8?
Yes, you're correct, but you must put y equals 2.
Wait, actually answers a bit wrong, you know.
Why? The answer wrong? Where?
Actually, x cubed minus x squared minus 6x. Instead of minus 2x squared, it's actually negative x squared only.
Wait, let me check. Oh yeah, negative x squared only. Correct. Eh, why Dylan also negative x squared? Oh yeah, correct. It's negative x squared only.
So the answer is wrong.
Correct. No, yeah. Okay. Now, you spotted. Nice. Okay. Next one. Question 9. Okay. So what do we know about turning point? Turning point means what? Turning point means gradient equals to,
dy dx.
yeah, equals to 0, right? So that means dy over dx when x is equals to 3 is equals to 0 because at this point. So all we need to do is we sub in x equals to 3 equals to 0. Okay. All right. That's it. That's for part 1. Part 2, now we have dy over dx equals to 4x minus 4 over 3x squared over 3. This one very hard to do, so we split 4 over 3x minus 4 over 9x squared. Okay, though one fraction in a fraction, very confusing. So now, once we have dy over dx, we can find for y. Okay, remember how to integrate. 4 over 3 put outside. Power increased by 1 over new power. Again, 4 over 9 outside. X increased by 1 over new power plus c. So we have y equals to 2x squared over 3 minus 4 over 27x cubed plus c. To find for c, always sub a coordinate in. This is the coordinate. So 3 minus 10. Find c, sub c back. Done. Okay, when you're done writing this, can you help me put a thumbs up? Okay, Joshua done?
Actually, after I do it myself,
You do yourself already? Got it, huh? Okay. And move on, Ken. Move on, huh? You want to try yourself? Then, both of you want to try yourself?
yeah, please.
Okay, try yourself then. Wow, first time I thought you say that the previous class very quiet because do yourself. Now you because do yourself. Okay, come do yourself then. Dylan try, ah? Okay. I don't say anything already. Later, Joshua complain. Okay, I'm here, okay. Anything, just ask. Okay, Dylan can do. Joshua got it, I think. Let me see.
We were supposed to do question 10.
Yeah. Joshua, you must put y equals 2, okay? Your answer is very good, but like every time your equation, you forget to put y equals 2 or dy dx equals 2. Your school will minus you at least 10 marks for that in the exam.
Yeah, ask this question.
Mm.
So you know the first step is to differentiate this, right?
The first step is to integrate.
No, sorry.
You mean question
It's like
11?
just integrate this, right? For question 10.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Wait. First you must sub half and 5, then you sub negative 2 in K, right?
Yeah, you must integrate to sub half and 5 to find the constant C. Once you find constant C, then you can sub this in to find for K.
Okay.
You got it, okay? Dylan, come try. Joshua, you done already? Try 11 lah.
What questions must we do?
10 and 11, Dylan, are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Joshua done 10 already.
I'm doing 11 to part 2 already.
Yeah lah. Hey Dylan, which question you get? Do you need my help, Dylan, for question 10?
No, I've sent you question 10.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. Next one. 11. Now 11 is the last question that is purely integration. Later on, we will see certain questions that link all of our other concepts together. Okay. You guys start with 11.
Jump eating it.
You are what? I can't hear you. You done already?
I don't want to do part two, sorry.
Part two cannot, let's do
Wait,
together,
but,
okay?
but let me show this first. Tell me if this is correct.
Okay. Dylan can do part one.
Yeah, I'm part 2.
Okay. So find the x coordinate where the normal is perpendicular to this line. So straight away, cannot. Okay. We look at this line first. We can only care about the gradient of the normal or tangent. So try to make y the subject. Okay. Then y equals to minus 5x plus 1/3. Okay. So if the normal is perpendicular to this line, that means the gradient of the tangent is minus 5, right? If normal is perpendicular to the line, means the tangent is parallel to the line. So gradient of tangent is minus 5. And what does gradient of tangent represents? Gradient of tangent represents dy over dx. Okay, so just let dy over dx. Okay, since the top is the same minus 5, the bottom is the same 1. So 2x plus 3 So 2x plus 3 equals to, cube root of 1 is still 1. That's it. Okay, every time when you look at gradient of normal or tangent, when you look at equation of normal or tangent, you only look at the gradient. Okay, both of you done with question 11? This is part 2. Okay, now can I give you a short break? I need to use the washroom. I'll come back by around 12:45. Okay, and then we continue with question 12. Okay, I'm back. Are you guys back? Just back. Damn, cool. Dylan, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, Joshua. I'll start first, huh? Okay, come. All right, so now last step, huh? Okay, so this one, we must make use of all the other concepts to try. Okay, the first one is very straightforward. So they just want me to find fx. Okay, so this one very easy. Both of you can do it. All we have to do is fx is integrating okay, then power increased by 1 over new power increased by 1 over new power. I keep writing wrongly. Fx. Okay, then we sub in 1 and minus 2. Cancel, cancel, cancel become 2. You get 1 plus 2 plus c equals to minus 5. So this answer for part 1. Okay, now I want to find the value for which d square y dx square is equals to 0.
Wait,
Okay.
sure.
Mm.
Wait, for stationary point is dy dx equals 0, right?
Yes, correct. Stationary point is dy over dx equals to 0. Okay, so now I want d square y over dx square to be equals to 0. I must differentiate this equals to 0. So 20x cubed plus 24x square equals to 0. Take out x square, you get 20x plus 24 equals to 0. Either x is 0 or x is equals to 12 over 10, 6 over 5. Okay. Then minus 6 over 5. Sorry. Okay. But it has to be a stationary point whereby d square y dx square is equals to 0. So, sorry, I said wrongly. Okay, this is your d square y dx square. It must be a stationary point. Sorry, I read wrongly. So write that one. Okay, so that means dy over dx must be equals to 0. So I let dy over dx be equals to 0 first. X equals to 0 or x equals to minus 8 over 5. Okay, I want to see which, these are my two stationary points. I want to see which of my stationary point will give me d square y dx square equals to 0. Okay. This is not equals to 0. Therefore, x equals to 0, dy over dx equals to 0, d square y over dx square is equals to 0. Okay, this is a stationary point. When you sub into your d square y dx square, you still get 0. So this is your answer. Okay, then Dylan, d square y dx square equals to 0 tells me what? I know that d square y dx square more than 0 is minimum, less than 0 is maximum. No, it is the limitation. Okay, don't forget both of you. D square y dx square is the limitation. So this one,
I don't think we've done that.
Limit means you cannot use it. It's like how to say limit? It's like you cannot use it. Okay, so you cannot use d square y dx square. You must use, besides d square y dx square, what else can you use?
dy over dx.
Your sign test, correct? Use your sign test, your table. Draw your table instead. Okay, draw your table instead. So this is 0, x and dy over dx. Okay, so you know x is 0, dy dx is 0. Okay, This is your dy dx, right? So put something smaller, put something bigger, and see what you get. Okay? Okay, this one when you sub into dy dx is down, this one you sub is go up. So x equals to 0 is minimum point. Okay, do the same for the other side. This is minus 8/5. So this one minus 1.7, this one minus 1.5. Okay, sub inside also. Joshua done already, huh? Joshua, you don't let d square y dx square equals to 0. You let dy over dx be equals to 0. Find for the stationary point, then you sub into dy dx to see which one give you 0. Dylan, why are you drawing? Okay, have you done copy or not, Dylan?
I'm at the box thing.
Okay. Okay, Joshua, you get what I mean, right?
For 12B, right? The
Mm.
other answer is negative 24/0/20.
Cannot, because you let d square dx square equals to 0. You must let, because it's stationary point, you let dy over dx equals to 0. Then you sub your dy dx inside to see which x give you d square y dx square equals to 0. You must see which station, because these two are your stationary point, right? You must see which of it gives you d square y dx square equals to 0. So now you see d square y dx square, when I sub in this one, it is 0. So this is the answer that you're looking for. X equals to 0. Okay, this one when you sub into d square y dx square is not 0. So that is not the answer. Okay, so your part B is wrong, but part C is okay. Part C is correct. By the way, your part C, right? This part should be maximum. Okay, you try sub again. So this is positive, this is negative. Okay? So x
No,
equals
I
to
drew it
minus.
wrongly, that's all.
Okay.
Well, I thought you said you cannot use the limit.
Yeah, that's why I cannot use d square y dx square. I must use the sign test instead. Every time when I want to show if a point is maximum, minimum, or point of inflection, I can use d square y dx square or sign test. But
Wait,
d
but
square
does
dx square,
d square y dx square show point of inflection?
no, it doesn't. That's why d square y dx square has its limitation. You can use d square y dx square because sometimes
Wait, then why would it show if there's a point of inflection?
only the sign test can show point of inflection. Only the sign test
What
can
happens
show.
if you put in like a point of inflection equation into the d square y dx square?
Wrong, 0 mark.
No, then what happened? Would it give positive or negative?
It will give equals to 0.
Oh,
But equals to 0 can be maximum or minimum point. Can you see? D square dx square is 0, but it is a minimum point when you use your sign test. So it can be point of inflection, it can be minimum point, or it can be maximum point. It doesn't really tell you anything. So you can use d square y dx square. The pro of it is that if your equation is easy to differentiate, right? D square y dx square is very straightforward. One step only. Very easy, right? Doing this, you must put in the calculator many times, waste a lot of time. But d square dx squared, if you hit this limit, you must redo and do your sign test. Okay, so just try, okay? Try to do d square dx squared first if you can differentiate one more time. Only use sign test when it is difficult to differentiate one more time, or when they say that use your first derivative, then you do this one. Okay, so when you use d square dx squared, it's easy, but you must be careful when it is equals to 0. That is your limitation. Can you help me write there in another color or something? Okay, remind yourself d square dx squared equals to 0 is the limitation. Okay, and then when you're done, can you help me put a thumbs up? Joshua, you done already? Oh. How many questions we have left? Then 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. Okay, can. Boys, are you done? Dylan done?
Yeah.
Okay. Now 13. Okay. When we say stationary point means dy over dx is equals to 0. Okay. So if you want to show that d square y dx, if you want to show that dy over dx cannot be equals to 0, because no stationary point means cannot be equals to 0. How do I show that my quadratic cannot be equals to 0? What should I do? I said before. How do I show that this cannot be equals to 0? Okay, if you want to show that a quadratic cannot be equals to 0, you have to prove that it is always bigger than 0 or smaller than 0. So if you want to prove that it's bigger or smaller than 0, you use completing the square. Okay, can you help me write down? Use completing the square to show quadratic bigger than 0 or cannot be equals to 0. Okay, so now we must do complete the square. When you do complete the square, first term must be 1x squared. So you take out the 2. 5 is useless, just put outside. Then you do completing the square for the inner bracket. So just copy the whole thing. Plus b over 2 square minus b over 2 square. Okay, can you see? From here becomes here. Okay, we did complete the square. Then slowly, these 3 combined become x minus 1 square. Okay, put the 2 in. Okay, not done yet. Then okay, we must say that since bracket square is more than or equals to 0, the smallest this can be is 0. 0 plus anything is bigger than 0, correct? That means this whole thing cannot be equals to 0. So f prime x is bigger than 0. Okay, f prime x cannot be equals to 0, therefore no stationary point. Okay, you must say one by one. This is at least 3 marks, okay? I think 4 marks. 2 marks here to prove completing the square. 2 marks here to explain this one. When you're done with A, can you do B and send it to me? Very easy, part B. Dylan almost done with 13.
Yeah.
Okay. Wish I can do 14 first, okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Okay, can you all help me do part 1 first? I will do part 2. You can do part 1 and part 3. Part 2 is the hard part. I will go through.
Yeah, okay. Why do you have to write it?
Because you will be not paying attention and then ask me, wait, do we have to do this? Oh, my clock died. Must change the battery again. I think must change the battery before the kids come back. I think later I can buy. Any energizer? I don't like that clock. I want to change it. Yeah, I'm not. Right.
Is using collection. A lot. No, that's like the problem. So, this is good. It's good. That's not the one that- and I hope the poor person compared to you.
Okay, guys, stationary point means what is zero? You know, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Did it.
Found part one already not? Found already send me, okay?
I thought it was finished. I think.
Huh? Part one I haven't do yet. I said you have done. You do part
I
one
think you
and
must
part
finish
three.
the entire question first.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
You just ask this question.
Mm.
You know, wait, what's the differentiate of 1 over 3x minus 2? Is it 3 ln 3x minus 2?
Let's integrate. So this one is
Wait,
bracket power
never mind.
minus
Sorry.
1. Method 2.
Wait, I do
Wow.
again.
Mm.
Wait, if you're differentiating, what happens when the bracket becomes power 0? Does it become 1 or do you make it ln 1?
No. When you differentiate this one, right?
Yeah.
Method 2, power bring down, copy the bracket power bring down by 1 times differentiate of the bracket.
Wait, I thought the power must also be brought down.
Yeah, method 2 leh.
So
Bracket
the
power.
minus 1 will become 0.
No, power bring down, copy the bracket power bring down by 1 times differentiate of the
Oh, wait.
bracket.
Oh yeah, minus 1 bring down brought down by 1. And
Yeah.
wait, okay, never mind. Wait, what happens if it's 1
Okay.
and then will it become 0 or do you make it ln?
Sorry, which one?
Never mind. Never mind.
Okay. Okay, don't confuse integrate with differentiate now. Both of you found K?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Wait, you're differentiating or integrating? You're integrating, right? For part 3. Not differentiate, it's integrate, right? So be careful, integrate. So when you integrate, power increased by 1 over the new power. This becomes ln. Then plus C, okay, must sub your point. Now both of you got it. Very good, Dylan. Your part 2 is correct also.
Wait, it's
All
the
right, very
minimum
good.
point is the
Okay.
one where less than 0 is maximum, right?
Minimum point is when d square y dx square is less than 0. Very good. Anyway, more than 0. D square y dx square more than 0.
Equals minimum
Smiley
point.
face, so is minimum point. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one, both of you got it right. Okay. I will just copy.
Which also part two my answer correct.
Yes, your part 2 answer is almost correct. Your presentation must be right. Wait, let me write down first. 3x minus 2 square. Okay, both of you, Dylan, your explanation is good, but don't have to mention this one and this one's obvious. This number positive means positive. You just have to write
I don't know
since.
like how clever the marker is.
That you don't know that 3 is positive. Okay, can. So show that your bracket is bigger than 0 because this is at the bottom right. Usually we can write bigger than or equals to, but because this is at the bottom, we cannot put the equals to, cannot, okay? So since bracket is bigger than 0, f double prime x is more than 0. Therefore, f prime x is increasing, okay? So if y is increasing, the differentiate of y is bigger than 0, okay? So if dy over dx is increasing, the differentiate of dy over dx is more than 0. That's why that day I taught you, if I want velocity increasing, how? You differentiate velocity more than 0. So the differentiate of velocity is acceleration. So acceleration more than 0. If I want acceleration to be increasing, then differentiate of acceleration bigger than 0. There's no differentiate of acceleration term. So just dA over dt more than 0. Okay, so whatever you want to be increasing, the differentiate of it is more than 0. Same thing applies to decreasing. Whatever you want to be decreasing, the differentiate of it is less than 0. Can remember? I can sort the question to velocity, acceleration. Okay, you both must know. Can you help me write this down also? If you're scared you forget, write it down somewhere. In your AMF booklet also can. Then when you're done, can you put thumbs up?
How do I do thumbs up?
You did not, don't know how to do thumbs up, Dylan. You must go to the emoji.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Wait, thumbs up if you've done what?
Sorry? When you're
No,
done
why-
writing down everything, when you're done with 14. Are you done? This part you want to write down, please write down, okay? Very important. Very, very, very important. I move on.
What's
Okay.
V and A?
What is what? V and A
V.
is velocity and velocity acceleration, your kinematics. Okay, I can test you increasing, decreasing in kinematics. Okay, I can ask you for velocity is increasing. So you must know that the differentiate of velocity is more than 0. I can say that acceleration is increasing. The differentiate of acceleration is more than 0. Okay, so sometimes, most of the time, the question, right, will not be just like that increasing, decreasing function. So nice to you know. They most likely will add them into kinematics and use kinematic term to test you on increasing, decreasing function. So you just have to take note of this one. Okay. Move on first. Same thing, can I let you do part A and then I do part B? Okay, find equation. This one you must differentiate how many times? I mean integrate how many times? To find equation, you must integrate 2 times. Be careful when you integrate, okay? Can do. Part A. Okay, Dylan got it. Joshua, you're almost done.
Okay, I'm confused. What do I do?
Cannot do? I do. Okay. I'll just quickly go through this one. All right. So this one, they say that you want to find the value of P. Okay, they say that the tangent to the curve at x equals to 3 is parallel to the x-axis. Parallel to the x-axis means it's a horizontal line, right? Means gradient is equals to 0. Okay, the curve also passes through this point. And at this point, the gradient is -4. That means dy over dx at x equals to 1 is -4. So we find dy over dx first. We integrate. it's 6x squared plus px plus c. Okay, so there is two unknowns here. We need to find for c regardless. So we must form two equations. This is my equation 1. This is my equation 2. So let's sum. Okay, so when x is 3, dy dx is 0. So 9 times 6, 54. This is equation 1. Okay, Joshua, then we start the other one. Gradient is -4 when x is 1. Okay, we can make c the subject or p the subject. Maybe I make p the subject. Then we sub 2 into 1. Okay, so 0 equals to 54 plus 3. Okay. So P will be equals to -10 minus 12, which is -22. So your equation will be, put back to dy dx first. dy dx is 6x squared minus 22x plus c. So y will be integrate of that. Okay. So to find for c, you can sub any point you want. You can sub in, maybe this one is given already. Okay, so 1 and 12. C is 9. Okay, find C, sub C back, you get answer already. Joshua, when you're done writing, can you help me put a thumbs up? Hmm? Joshua not done. Okay, now minimum gradient. I purposely bolded this so that,
Is this in our syllabus?
yes, it is. I taught you before. Okay, so ask you guys, if I want minimum y, what do you do? Minimum y. Then you differentiate y equals to, minimum is a stationary value, right? So you differentiate equals to
Wait,
0.
but can the gradient be negative?
No, wait. Yeah, but gradient can be negative. Negative gradient means it's going downwards, right, Dylan?
Yeah.
Gradient positive means it's going upwards. Yeah, so can.
Wait,
Gradient
minimum
can be,
gradient does not mean dy dx equals 0, right?
no. So listen here. Minimum y, minimum y, you differentiate y equals to 0. So if I want minimum gradient, you differentiate gradient equals to 0. Okay. If I want minimum velocity, you differentiate velocity equals to 0. If I want minimum acceleration, you differentiate acceleration equals to 0. I want the minimum or maximum of anything, you differentiate of that equals to 0. Can you see? Okay, so minimum, maximum are all stationary value. Every time you want to find stationary value, you differentiate that equals to 0. So differentiate of y is dy dx. Differentiate of dy dx is d square y dx square. So today we will be using this one for this question. Okay, so you just have to differentiate your gradient. All right, where's your gradient? Your gradient here. Here, this is your dy, d square over d. Okay, sorry, don't have to. So d square y over dx square, which is 12x minus 22, you let it be equals to 0, x equals to 11 over 6. You want the minimum gradient, so you sub x equals to 11 over 6 into dy over dx. Exactly the same as how we did this in kinematics. All right. Both of you clear? Okay with this? Any question? When you're done, can you help me put a thumbs up?
Wait, where's the working for the thing?
For which one? For part B? Here. Here only. This part here, can you please copy in case you forget?
Wait, does minimum dy dx mean minimum point?
Minimum dy dx is the minimum gradient, right? Gradient is dy dx. So minimum gradient is differentiate of gradient equals to 0. Different minimum velocity, differentiate velocity equals to 0. Get the concept? Okay, the concept important. I want the minimum or maximum.
Oh, so the minimum of anything is basically when you like
differentiate of that.
result of like the differentiation is 0
Yes, correct.
for
Correct.
any
Very
minimum.
good. Yes, for any variable. So I want minimum acceleration. You differentiate acceleration equals to 0. Okay, it's the same as your increasing, decreasing. Sorry, let me move up a bit. Where's my increasing, decreasing? Just now I say, this one. I want velocity to be increasing. I differentiate velocity bigger than 0. So the only thing difference is this part. Okay, increasing means bigger than 0. Minimum, maximum means equals to 0.
Are we supposed to do 16?
Yeah, do 16, okay? When you're done, can you do 16 and 17? Joshua, are you done with 15?
Yeah, and
Oh, okay. All right, this is everything that I taught you today. See whether you all two can do, okay? Send me one by one, okay? Joshua, well done. Okay, question 16 is very good. One more, okay? 17. Dylan, you finish 16? Then you send me first, okay? Okay. Well done, both of you. 17 is trigo. Be very careful. This is when you differentiate, okay? Be very careful. Well done, Dylan. That's correct. Okay, good.
Wait, is this the last question?
Yes, this is the last question. Okay.
So we can finish ahead of time.
Yeah, because when there's more people, I'll take more time. But you guys finish very fast, very good. Give me a while, lah. Let me see. Okay, maybe I can give you one or two more questions, maybe one more. Okay, after you're done with that. Okay, all these questions, I'll be preparing a revision bundle for you all for all chapters. So questions that we do in class, you can just skip that, okay? Both almost done with 17.
Wait, when they say the number passes through the point for does that mean that point is on the curve? Or just a random point?
The normal passes through the point. So it's the normal that passes
Oh.
through this point. So actually, if you want to find gradient of normal, you can just do y2 minus y1, right? Once you found gradient of normal, you can find gradient of tangent.
Is this radian mode?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, but doesn't make sense if dy dx or f power prime x is sine x plus k cosine x, and if it meets the normal at 0, 3, then wouldn't sine x plus k cosine x become 0 if it's
Why?
something?
No,
Huh?
you must find for the fx first, right?
Yeah, I already did that.
Yeah, you must sub fx first. So, have you found part A? Both of you found part A.
No,
Joshua
I'm
found
at
part A?
part A.
Yeah,
I'm at
part A. Okay. Part A, slowly. So, you do know that the gradient of the normal, how to find gradient of normal? Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1, right? Which is 1 over 4. Correct or not? Then gradient of tangent will be -4. So that means f, okay, this is normal at this point. So when x is 0, dy dx is -4 because gradient of tangent is also known as dy dx. So you sub in x equals to 0. Is equals to -4. Cosine 0 oh, I write wrongly. This is -4.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
K is -4. So K equals to -4. Which one doesn't make sense?
No, wait. I thought cosine 0 is 0.
Cosine 0 is 1. You try with calculator.
Oh, then never mind.
Okay, sorry, I typed wrongly. This is -4. Okay, now can you do part B then? Should be easier now. Joshua, when you're done, take a picture, send me, okay? Where's my highlighter? Okay, Dylan, very good. Got it. Joshua got it ready? One more question. Is he there? Joshua?
Just finished.
Just finish. He sent me, yeah? All right. Question 11, done already, can go. Okay.
Wait, what? Where did this
Yeah,
one come?
bonus question since you guys so fast. Okay, Joshua, can. All right, last one already, finish and go. Anything can ask me.
Wait, sure. So from here, right, the gradient of the normal is 2, right?
Gradient of the normal is
Is
2.
it
Yes,
2?
so the gradient of the tangent is what?
Negative.
Wait. 11a, isn't it the one that we did already? We actually did. Sorry. Yeah, I made you redo one more time. Okay, choose
Yeah,
the
we
wrong question.
is.
Done right. Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
you
it's
should ask me the same question before. Sorry, do 10, do 10.
Wait, have we done it?
10
Like,
haven't, 10
oh
haven't.
yeah, it's question 7.
11 we did. Yeah, 11 we did. No wonder I find it so familiar. Okay, 10 is easy. Okay, just have to integrate properly. Mm.
Wait, if
Hmm?
x equals 0 equals, wouldn't x equals 0 equal to 4? Since e
No,
minus,
when x is 0, gradient is 3.
yeah. But wouldn't it be 4? 4e minus 2 times 0 to the power minus to the power 0 is 4, right?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Oh, f double prime x. Sorry. This one. Okay. So you have to differentiate 2 times. F prime x. You integrate first. And then one more time. Okay. So we can integrate is copy the whole thing, divide by differentiate of the power plus c. Okay, then you can find for c. Mhm.
Wait, can you show the full question? I think we have it blocked out.
Okay, like that. This is a double prime. Dylan can go already.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye. Mr. Lam, done ready? Joshua done?
Almost.
Oh, okay.
Done.
Let me. Good, but you must put y equals 2, okay, in the exam. Now see you on Friday, okay?
Bye, John.
Bye-bye.